All right. Yeah, so today is just a basic understanding of the basically of the candlesticks. So the other person that joined, if you want to unmute and like just kind of tell us like what your level of understanding about the candlesticks are while I try to pull up my screen to go ahead and share. If you want to, if not, that's fine as well. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and go on with it then. Let me see. So basically, it's like let's talk about candlesticks. It's I have just 3 slides today, and basically I just want everybody to kind of understand that about the 4 most important candles, and I kind of want everybody to understand that basically the stock market does make. Don't let somebody else in. Hold on 1 second. Make sure they got in. Okay, yeah, they did. Okay. Basically, the stock market makes basically 10 major candles. Once you learn these 10 major candles, then you basically are paid. And out of the 10 candles, and here they are, you have your bullish candles here, and then you have your bearish candles. Can everybody see that? These 10 candles here. So these are the 10 candles pretty much that you'll see. You'll see different variations of the candle. Even when you see this bullish candle, the most bullish candle that you'll see in the market is these long green candles with no wicks. Now you may see one with very, very short wicks at the top or very, very short wicks at the bottom. It's important to know that, like, the wicks at the top are when the sellers have come in and started to try and push the price down some. And then, of course, when you see the wicks at the bottom, the buyers have stepped in and they're trying to push the price up some. So it's important to know that you may see like very, very small wicks, but this is your most bullish candle. And then this second candle is your second most bullish candle. So when you see these 2 candles, grab my pen. Basically, these 2 candles are your most bullish candles that you'll see in the market. And you'll see other variations. You may see where the body of this, I call it a hammer. You may see the body of this candle. All right, just trying to get my pen to cooperate. You'll see the body of it may look a little different, but it may be a little wider. But anytime you have this long tail, that means that the buyers were heavily involved in this candle during this time period, and that the price is likely to go up after that candle. If you go back and look at your charts and do some study, every time you see this candle, I want you to make note of what the price does after you see this candle. Now, when it comes to this long bullish candle here, generally I use the 50% rule. And I know Chris Sane talks about that. You kind of mark off 50% of that candle. If your next candle lands anywhere within this area, most times your price action is going to move in in the upward, in the upward trend from there. I'm not saying it's going to go up and go to the moon, but you'll get some upward movement, at least just a couple of candles up. It may not be a whole lot of upward movement, but it'll likely move up in this direction.
Okay,
If you can maintain 50% of this long bullish candle to the upside. So if your next candle comes out, let's see. Let me erase. Let me go back to my pen. This next candle comes out, this next green candle comes out, and say it's here and then here. Oh gosh. It's the pen, y'all. Then you're likely going to have upward movement if you can maintain 50% of this green candle. So that's something that I keep in mind when I see in the market, when I see this long bullish candle here. I look to see what the next candle does. If the candle kind of opens up above this candle, then I go ahead and take the trade to the upside. Now, when I see this bottom tail candle, and it's a long bottom tail or a long wick at the bottom of the candle, that's when I start to look to get into a trade to the upside. Now, I don't just use just candlesticks. I also use the EMAs. So my EMAs have to kind of back what I see in the candles. I don't just use candlesticks. Now, this third candle is another bullish candle. And as you see, it has very small wicks at the top and the bottom. So that's also a bullish candle, but there is some indecision in the market when I see that there are sellers trying to push the price down and they're kind of battling with the buyers that are at the bottom here trying to push the price up. Although it's a long bullish candle, I do know that sellers and buyers are both present and they're both fighting equally. And so I kind of take a caution right here at this candle. When we see this neutral candle here, although it is green and it is bullish, it was heavy buying pressure here in this period, heavy selling pressure. This is indecision. And for me, in the training that I've had, I don't enter after a indecision candle such as this. And then here you have the least bullish candle here. This is likely what you were speaking of, Deanna, when you were talking about reversals. Your bullish trend is likely about to reverse because your sellers have pretty much taken over. They just haven't taken over to be able to take out this last part of the candle and also make it turn red. So I'm not sure how much you all watch the market like minute by minute, but a lot of times these candles change colors within the time period that you're on. Like if you're on the 5-minute chart, the candles can change colors. This candle could have started out looking just like this candle, but before the period closed, it turned into looking like this candle because the sellers pushed it down.
Question. So that candle right there, would that candle be more at the bottom for, would it be more at the top or the bottom? At the top, would it be at the top of the trend, or would it be like at the bottom, that candle there?
When you're in a bullish trend and the market has gone up maybe 4 or 5 candles, like you may have seen this candle and then some upward movement, you're going to likely see once it gets to be in a period of exhaustion, you'll start to see wicks along the way, and you're going to see more and more wicks along the way. The wicks will start to get bigger. Once your wick gets this size,
Which size?
right here. Let me see. Let me get back to my pen. Once your candle gets to be this size, this
Okay,
long
got
of a
you.
size, and it's a topping candle, what I call a top and tail candle, you are looking to come to a reversal. That means that pretty much the market has exhausted
Right.
in this
And
trend, and that it's time to reverse and it's coming back down.
Correct.
Yep, it's coming back down. So I challenge you to go, when you do your study, to go back and look at your charts, and no matter what time frame you use, look for these candles and make a note of what you see when you see this bottom wick, and also make a note of what you see when you see this top wick. And also with your indecision candles, I mean, it can go either way because basically you have just as many buyers that are present here as you do sellers.
Right.
All right. So now we go down to the bottom row, and it's the same thing with your bearish candles.
Mhm.
Let me make this, erase this. Go back to the pen. And the 50% rule, from what I've seen in my time in the market, if I draw off 50% of this long bearish candle and
Mhm.
my next candle opens up below 50% and we maintain below 50%, it's likely going to start moving to the downside. We're entering into a downtrend. This long bearish candle pretty much is the beginning of, just a bearish trend most times. Now, the one thing that you have to be cautious about is like a tweezer bottom, and even with your bullish candle, a tweezer top. A lot of times in the market, even today, I think I was in AMD today, or either SPX, one of them. And I had I'm gonna say a bullish candle, and then I had a bearish candle that came all the way back down.
Mhm.
Then I said to myself, I said, I'm gonna stick it out because I may have been down maybe about 6%, I'm gonna say. So I stuck it out, and sure enough, it came right back. And so a lot of times it's like basically just what they call a liquidity sweep, where it's just going down. It
Mhm.
went up and it wants to stay up,
Mhm.
and then it came all the way back down, and then it goes back up again, and then it goes on out to the upside. That's where your EMAs come into play. Like, because I know I don't trade with just candlesticks. I trade with my EMAs. My EMAs are more of a confluence for me, or more of a confirmation for me, more than my candles. My candles are telling me, how the market is feeling every 5 minutes or every 15 minutes. But my EMAs pretty much tell me more of an overall trend, for that time frame. So because I didn't lose my EMAs, like I didn't violate my 8 EMA or my 20 EMA, I went ahead and stayed in the trade, and I think it eventually went up, and I think I got maybe 14, 15% on that trade. So, but basically, the point I'm making is that the information that you're getting in this candle during that period, it pretty much is going to tell you how the market is feeling during that period, and whether or not you get over that 50% mark, or you maintain under that 50% mark, will give you an indication that the market is about to trend down. Now, this is your
Mhm.
second most bearish candle. Does that make sense what I'm saying to everyone?
It does.
Okay, all right. Are there any questions?
So do you use your RSI or your MACD with your candles? Hold on.
Um, so let me tell you about the MACD. Now,
Hold on.
RSI, I'm gonna say like, I started out using RSI about a year ago, when I was really like using like Robinhood for my charts. I
Mhm.
was using RSI, and RSI is good. I mean, it kind of lets you know, um when the stock is, like you say, overbought, oversold. But
Mhm.
for me, I'm more able to spot what RSI would tell me. I'm able to kind of
Mhm.
spot that in the candles, because
Mhm.
I can pretty much look at a chart, and I can see
Mhm.
that it's trending up, like we've had 4 or 5 candles to the upside, and I can
Mhm.
kind of look at it and tell it's looking like it's exhausted. And so when it's exhausted, that means that a lot of the sellers are stepping in, and is weakening the buyers. Like the
Mhm.
buying trend is weakening. And that just comes because you have all these upper wicks. The upper wicks kind of let you know, even though the candles are green and it's going
Mhm.
up, because the upper wicks are there, that means that the sellers are there, they're present, and they are trying to push that price down. Is gonna eventually exhaust, and the sellers are gonna take over. And I mean, because that's like the nature of the battle between the bulls and the bears.
Mhm.
So with the RSI, I feel like that's a good indicator. And then I think in time you'll be able to kind of look at your wicks and look at your candles to kind of see
Mhm.
that exhaustion, and then you'll know that it's overbought or either oversold.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right,
I
and
have
then
to work.
the MACD.
Mhm.
Now, the 1 hour MACD, um, when I'm day trading, sometimes I will use that 1 hour MACD. And
Mhm.
if the lines on the MACD, I don't know what you call those lines, but if
The
they're
signal line
pointing,
and the signal line and the MACD line.
yes. So
Mhm.
if they're pointing in a bullish formation on the hourly, and even though I'm trying to enter on the 5 minute, then I would
Mhm.
go ahead and use the MACD. But lately, I haven't been referencing that. But that is a good tool. But it's a good tool when you use it for me on the higher time frame.
Right, and I use it on the 5 minute, but I also I think the zero line. You're looking at the zero line, looking at the zero line. If it's under the zero line, if it's on the zero line or under the zero line, we know it's going to be bearish. If it's above, we know it's going to be bullish. So I use it as, I guess, confluence to give me confirmation.
Right.
Looking at my EMAs, and like I said, with the candles, I mean, oh, trying to get all that together is something. But I mean, and I guess I remember when I couldn't tell what the MACD was doing, or the RSI, or the EMAs. But I think it just comes with time and trying to put it all together
Right.
now for my entries and my exits. Because sometimes
Right.
I think I enter uh too soon.
Right. Right. So
Maybe go ahead.
now,
I'm
have
sorry.
you ever thought about with the MACD using the higher time frame? Like if you're trying to enter on your 5 minute,
Hmm.
of course you're looking at your EMAs, you're looking at your
Hmm.
candle,
Hmm.
and then you say, well, okay, now I think this is SPY and it's ready to go. Then you go
Hmm.
and back it up by checking your MACD on your higher time frame.
Sometimes I do go to the 1 hour, but sometimes I just look at the 5 minute and go from there.
Okay, all right. Try the 1 hour. Try checking
Okay.
just the MACD on the 1 hour, and that's like your backup. Like if the
Hmm.
MACD on the 1 hour is pointing up,
Hmm.
you're bullish.
Gotcha.
And that means that should back up your 5 minute or your 15 minute. Do you trade on the 5 or 15?
5 minute.
Okay, so yeah.
And when I'm in it, and if I'm in 5 minutes and moving, I'll go to the 1 minute.
Okay, you go to the 1 minute to watch it. Okay,
Hmm.
gotcha.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right, so yeah, try that tomorrow and let me know how
Okay.
it goes. Are we on Discord together? Is that how you found me?
I did. On
Okay.
Christine. That's how I found you.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Just let me know in the Discord and let me know how that works. Because I think if you actually back it up with that MACD on the 1 hour, just checking the MACD on the 1 hour
Hmm.
to make
Hmm.
sure it's in agreement with what you're seeing on the 5 minute, I think that's
Gotcha.
gonna make a big difference and it's gonna save you from getting into a failed trade.
I got one other question. Okay, like,
Go
okay,
ahead.
do you use market structure? And see,
Yeah.
that's something else trying to understand it. I was following Josh, and he talked about mm, the first three candles.
Uh-huh.
Let the first two candles, and because he does pre-market, morning market, and then he uses the
Hmm.
third one is VWAP. And I do understand VWAP, so I understand it's going to come back wherever it is. Well, it's up top, it's coming back to VWAP.
Right. Those are your confluences to match up with what you're seeing with your candles.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So
So
if
I'm
you
saying just
are
trying to put it all together, but I got to get that. I got to get that morning structure down though, because that's crucial.
so when you say morning structure, are you talking about your pre-market highs and lows and then your five
Yes.
minute orb?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pre-market highs and lows.
And
Yeah.
then you're talking about the 5 minute orb, the first 5 minutes, correct? The breakout of that.
Yes. Hmm.
Okay.
That's
All right.
that's
So
what that is. See.
basically what you
Okay.
do is when your you have your pre-market high and low, you mark that out, then you mark out your 5 minute orb. And then you have your EMAs. So
Hmm.
when everything lines up, then it's a go.
See, I guess because I have not marked my candles, I have not. And that's another thing that I've got to do now. I do all the rest. I go in, I look. I was like, okay, this is where it was, and I was like, okay, yeah, that's why I say I got to plan my trades out better with just looking and trying to really get an understanding of being able to see the candles and then be able to go in because I do Weeble. I do Weeble. I do have a
Okay.
trading view. I just have the just a free version of the trading view. And I
Okay.
realized I was like, okay. being able just to read that, now that's a whole nother, that's something else that I have to master. I mean,
Okay.
now I think I put the horse before the cart before the horse.
Okay, well,
It,
we look,
yeah,
we do that. We do that in trading
yeah,
sometimes. It's okay.
yeah,
We
yeah.
we kind of have, I think we all have jumped in behind a person who has motivated us, that,
Hmm.
and that believes in the market, and he has developed our belief system in the market, and basically we've jumped in, and we've gotten out here and we've tried some trades, but then
Hmm.
we had to kind of go backwards and actually learn how to trade, because what I think we all learn very quickly, or what I learned very quickly, if you don't know how to see these things for yourself, like, you can't
Right.
just call Chris Sane and say, hey, what's
No,
the
you
spy
can't.
gonna do, in 10 minutes or whatever. You can't call him and ask him that, and he
Mm-mm.
may not put a video out to let you know what it's gonna do in the next
That
10
is
minutes.
correct.
You're gonna have to learn it for yourself. So I think we all kind of are in that space where we're just kind of out here kind of navigating and trying to learn it. And for me, like, I want to give, like, whatever information I have and can teach someone else, so that I can bring them to where, at least where I am. And then once we get together and start working together and kind of hunting together or fishing together, then we may get out here and we may find this other person that may take us to the next level together. So that's kind of how I have been approaching the situation. And that's kind of why I put these little study sessions out, because I tell you, I wake up, go to sleep, lay down, cook, drive to work, everything is like trading. It's like all day, I'm always watching videos, I'm listening and learning, and picking up books that I see and reading parts of this book and that book, just trying to like, you understand market structure, just trying to understand the terminology, because it was totally foreign to me a year ago. So yeah. But what did you say, stocks with Josh is what, who talks about the market structure? I think she went out. Hello? Okay. I'm not sure where she went, but I'm gonna go ahead and move on with what I was showing everyone. So basically, your second, we were talking about our bearish candles, and basically, your second most bearish candle is going to be the one with this top tail here, of this long wick at the top here. And now these two candles are pretty much your indecision candles. Get my pen to work. Your indecision candles are here. Pretty much you have equal buyers and equal sellers at the top of the candle, top and bottom of the candle. Even though it's red here, it basically, the market is indecisive about what it wants to do with this particular company. And then you have your bottom tail candle, and this pretty much signals the end of the bearish movement. And because this tail is so long here, you're likely going to start getting some movement to the upside, because as you see, the buyers have stepped in and pushed it all the way up, just not enough to actually turn the candle green in that time period. But understand that this wick does mean something. This wick is important. This wick means that buyers have stepped in, and that they are pushing this market up here. So are there any questions about the 10 major candles that you'll see in the market? All right. And I just want to make sure that everyone also understands that these candles, these four candles, if I can get my pen to work, these four candles right here are your most important candles, and give you the most information about whether or not the market is either bullish or bearish for that particular time period. All right. Now I'm going to move to the next slide, which is would be the last. My last slide. Okay. This is the same thing right here. These are your most important candles. Erase all that. It's your bullish candle, solid bullish candle, your bottom tail candle, which indicates upward movement, your solid bearish candle, and then your top and tail candle, which indicates a reversal or downward movement. All right, and the last slide is basically these are your indecision candles. And these are the candles pretty much when I'm trading, I don't go into a trade after this candle. I let the market make up its mind what it wants to do. Because although this may be red here, the market may take it green next. And I give the market time to establish a trend before I enter a trade. So anytime we have indecision in the market, sometimes indecision in the market could last a few candles. And so I kind of just watch it until it actually makes a decision. And then I also back that up, like Deanna and I were both saying, I also back that up with the EMAs. So like I was saying before, as you study and start looking at price action in your charts, take a second and look at your charts, and you will see when you see certain candles, you see certain things happening after you see those candles. So I'm going to pull up real quick. I'm going to pull up today's action for SPX.
Question: do you trade in the money or out of the money?
Um, It just depends. Mostly, I try to trade in the money, even on day trades.
Mm-hmm.
Contracts are a little expensive in the money, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
finding that the better contract you buy, the
Mm-hmm.
better intrinsic value that you'll have in the contract. You
Mm-hmm.
still want your delta to be higher than your theta,
Mm-hmm.
because if
Now I
I
got to
don't think
work on that.
everyone
Yes.
say what
Yeah.
now?
I said I got to work on that right there. So
Yeah,
what
because
should our delta be? What is the recommending?
so
Okay.
I'm basing this off of things that I've heard Chris Sane say
Okay, that's what I'm
about
talking about. Mm-hmm.
the theta, I mean, sorry, the delta being above 50,
Mm-hmm.
but the theta needs to be lower than that delta, because unless you're very precise in your trading and your entries, if you have any downward movement, the downward movement is going to kind of, the theta will eat away at your contract the more time you have downward movement waiting for that contract to turn and go in another direction or in the right direction. So even if you enter a trade and today's Wednesday and you enter a trade that's going to expire on Friday and you have a delta of 40 and you have a theta of 30,
Mm-hmm.
and then you go down in the wrong direction for 3 candles, then you go up one candle that gives you some hope. And you go back down another candle, and your contract hasn't lost. We'll say your contract has lost maybe 15%. That's still not like where your risk management level may be. You still are not, when it starts to go in your favor,
Mm-hmm.
you're not making as much profits because some of your theta ate away at some of your delta. I'm not sure if anybody realizes when you're in a trade, an active trade, you have an active option contract, your
Mm-hmm.
delta changes as the price moves. So
Mm-hmm.
as long as the price is moving in the wrong direction or against whatever you put it in for, your theta is kind of eating away at your premium. Now it may not eat away very much, but it does eat away at your premium. So unless you're very, very accurate, which I'm not that accurate, generally most of my trades that I get into, I'm gonna say probably 80% of my trades that I get into, they go in the wrong direction for at least 1 or 2 candles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then we go through a chopping period. So if
Mm-hmm.
we go through a period of chopping, and I may ride out the chopping period, because in the
Me too.
chopping period, yeah, I may only be down 7% or 4%.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, as long as I haven't lost my 9 EMA, then I'm gonna stay in the trade. But you have to think theta is going against you during that time. So with that being said, it's like, okay, I just try to choose the best contract that I can afford, depending on how my account looking, because sometimes it gets real sketchy. And
Mm-hmm.
other times, it's looking okay. And I'm like, oh, I can get the best contract out here for this particular company. But it just depends on like, it's kind of like case by case. But if I had like the perfect world and the perfect buying power, I would choose a delta that's anything over 50 and as close to 80 as I could get to that I can afford. And then of course, with a low theta is what I would choose. Now, what I don't like doing is I don't like buying those contracts that are so far out of the money
Mm-hmm.
that when you go up 14, 15%, your 14 or 15% is like $7. I just
Right.
I don't want to expose my money to the market. Because the market is unforgiving. I don't want to expose a $300 to possibly gain $7.
Right.
So that's kind of how I look at it. Like if I can't afford to buy something that's really close to the money, it doesn't have to always be in the money, but it needs to be close to in the money. If I can't afford to buy, then I have to choose a different company.
Gotcha.
Is how I look at it. So, to answer your question, try to choose as high of a delta as you can, and make sure that that theta is not higher than the delta.
It is not higher than the Delta.
Yeah. So, and I know in the money does get expensive, but as far as close to in the money as you can afford or want to risk. And then of
Mm-hmm.
course, like you say, once you get the contract, you decide like, hey, I'm only gonna lose $25 or I'm only gonna lose $50 on this contract.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's those are my recommendations. So,
Well, the
are there
whole
any
thing.
other questions? I was gonna look at SPX and just see if we can point out some of these candles,
Oh yeah.
to see if we can kind of identify like what we were looking at.
Okay.
But are
Cool
there any
beans.
questions before we move on?
No, I'm pretty sure I have someone should pull that up.
Okay. All right. So I'm just gonna share my screen again and try to get Zoom out of the way. All right. So can we see that?
Mhm.
All right.
On my screen.
So,
Okay.
I'm gonna take my indicators off. This is pretty much what I trade with every day.
What do you trade with?
You saying who or what?
What?
Okay,
That,
so what I have here is this is let's see.
and what do you use? Trading View as for
Yeah,
your charts?
this is
Yeah.
trading view. And this indicator, the red lines are multi-time frame support and resistance. Oh no, I'm
Oh, okay.
sorry. It's called support and resistance MTF multi-time frames
Hmm.
by flux charts. And basically I have it set to where it's giving me my resistance and support levels at the 5 minute and well, this is SPX. So SPX moves so fast.
It
It
does.
also gives me resistance levels at the 30 minute as well. And then I also have my EMAs. I have that 5 EMA
Okay.
indicator, so I can choose like up to 5 EMAs on one indicator. So what I
Hmm.
have on my chart is the 8 EMA, the 20 EMA, which is orange, and then I have my 200.
Okay, you have 820. Okay, you use 820. I use 948 and 200. Okay.
Okay. Now my 200, yeah, so the 20 is my orange, and then the 20 is pretty much, from what I was taught, the 20 is pretty much the heartbeat of the market. Like everything comes back to the 20
Oh, okay.
eventually. And pretty much
Gotcha.
everything kind of rides off and on the 8 with the
Hmm.
intention of coming back to the 20. and then eventually
Uh-huh.
it all comes back to the 200 at some point.
Mhm, mhm.
All right, and
You did today.
yes, it did.
You did today. Yeah.
Yes, it did. It came back to the 200. No, actually, it came back yesterday on SPX.
Mhm.
It didn't stay there long either.
Uh-uh.
But when it bounced off the 200 yesterday, ooh wee.
Mhm.
And so another thing that I do is I kind of keep a mental note in my head of what does this stock do at the 28 at the 200. Like
Mhm.
especially when it's getting near the 200, I kind of always look to the left and just look in the past to see how does it react to the 200? How long does it stay below it, or does it always go below it, and does it go below it and then tank and then just like live below it for a while, or does it just stay below the 200 just, for a short period of time? And I also try to do that on the higher time frames because again, the higher time frames pretty much is your, I'm gonna say, not your backup plan. The higher time frames gives you the bigger picture of what's going on.
Mhm.
So if you ever see something on the 5 minute,
Mhm.
always go to the 15 in the hour. I always go to the 15 in the hour to back up what I see on the five. If I see agreement on the 15 and then I see a slight agreement on the 1 hour, then I go ahead and take the trade. If I
Gotcha.
see a like what I call clear skies on the 15 minute and clear skies on the hour, I most definitely take the trade. And I may buy two contracts.
Gotcha.
Because anytime your 1 hour is pretty much
Okay.
in agreement or in confluence with your 5 minute,
Mhm.
it's clear skies.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
looking at our candles,
Mhm.
we were talking about our bullish candles.
Mhm.
Um, Even though right here, we're looking at this candle here at 1520, which would have been I think that's 4:20 in the afternoon, and how this ran up here. Um, Although you're above your my AEMA, this looks like a good trade. I would not enter this trade because I'm seeing exhaustion. You see all these sellers that are here and they're pushing the price down.
Mhm.
The sellers are the wicks that are up top are telling me that right here, although this is a strong bullish candle, and then the next candle does
Understood.
go up some,
Mhm.
these wicks are telling me that
That they,
sellers are getting involved in this
yeah, they're
market,
pushing it down.
and they are pushing it down, and it's a good idea, and we're far away from this AEMA. And anytime we get too far away from this AM EMA to the upside, that
Mhm.
means that this market or this particular stock is exhausted and it's ready to travel back home.
Mm. Okay. So is that the same for the other EMAs, like the 9? Because I
Yeah, the
do
eight and the nine, whenever
kind
you
of
hear
move the
like,
same. Mhm.
yeah, if you hear me say the eight, you can also use that in your mind for the nine. Because I know a lot of people trade with the nine. I traded with the nine for a long time, and then I switched over to the eight. I don't see a difference in it.
Gotcha.
I just switched over to the eight because somebody said,
Gotcha.
"Look," because somebody
Gotcha.
said, "Switch over to the eight."
Gotcha.
So I
Gotcha.
switched.
Gotcha.
Look, because look, we all out here learning this together.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
yeah, I switched over to the eight. Somebody said switch to the eight, so I switched to the eight. The eight and the nine are the same. Now, when it comes to the nine and the five,
Now 5 gonna be quicker, right?
the
I mean,
five
cause
gonna
you.
be quicker. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. I was trading on the nine for a long time, and I was doing pretty good. I had like maybe, I don't know, maybe 70%, 80% win
Mhm.
rate.
Mhm.
Risk management was, and it was okay. I was profitable. Like I
Mhm.
couldn't quit my job, but I was profitable.
Mhm.
I get on the YouTube, listening to our big brother Chris saying, he's talking about, oh, he trade on the five. I switched my I switched my EMAs to the five and started trying to trade on that five EMA. I believe I blew up my account.
What?
I didn't blow up my account, but I
But
lost
you
a lot.
sure took it.
I
Okay,
took some
yeah.
hits. I was like, "Oh Lord, if you don't get you, what make you think you gonna go do what he do?" I was like, "Oh Lord, no, you didn't do that." I did it for a couple of days, and I was like, "No," I went right back to the 9. But the 8 EMA is a little faster than the 9. It's
Oh,
about the
okay.
same, but like you say, I wouldn't. I'm me personally. I'm not ready for the 5, so I'm gonna leave the 5 where it is. But I'm
So
real
you're gonna leave the
comfortable.
5 where it's at.
Yeah, I'm real comfortable with the 8 and the 9. So, um, but I do know that when you get too far away from the 8 and the 9, all stocks are going to want to lead back to the 8 and
Hmm.
eventually go back to the 20 and test the 20. When I am in a trade, like if
Hmm.
I'm taking this trade to the upside
Hmm.
and we start to pull back some,
Yeah, it pulled back twice right there. Yeah,
mhm.
but you got a
Now
nice bullish candle.
if I don't lose my 8,
Hmm.
I stay on in it.
Okay, let me ask you this. Okay, you see how that's traveling up right there? The
Uh-huh.
two candles before that red bullish, I mean the red bearish candle. Okay,
Right
before
here,
the two green ones. Yes. Okay, they're on the line. They're above the line. But that bullish and that bearish candle, long candle, is on it.
right
What does
here.
yes? What does that indicate?
So again, this whole period, let me find something to draw with. This whole period is to me, oh, this whole period here that you're speaking of,
Mm-hmm.
with all these wicks up here, this whippiness,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you have wicks here, you have wicks at the bottom, you have wicks at the top. This is indecision. This is, to me, this is exhaustion to the upside. It's traveling up,
Mm-hmm.
but it's exhausted.
Mm-hmm. To me, it's
You have too
skipping,
many,
like it's
yeah,
skipping. Yes.
too many
Like
sellers. And then look, you're right here at a resistance level.
right.
So it's
Okay.
kind of bouncing down from this resistance level. Again, you're bouncing down, bouncing down. It's just exhausted here. And so right here, are you asking about these two red candles or this red candle?
Um, it was this. Okay, we done moved up. I see this red candle here,
Right
and where
here?
your line, the right there, is that a green one after this red one, and then you after the green one is two small red ones, and then you
Yes.
get another uptrend. You get another. I would say that was another a slight scalp. If you seen it, got in, got out, was a pullback. Am I correct?
Right.
It was a pullback. It moved sideways for 2-3 minutes,
Right.
and then it
And
went
right
on.
here, you have your bottom tail.
Okay,
See
right,
that? You
right,
see how
right.
that bottom tail hit your 9?
Is that like a spinning top? Is that like considered like a spinning top?
This candle is a bottom tail here.
It's a bottom tail. Okay, okay.
Now, this candle is slightly indecisive candle. It's
Mm-hmm.
red.
Mm-hmm.
You do have some sellers in this candle,
Mm-hmm.
but again, you haven't lost your trend here because remember, you're still on your 9.
Right, because I see it's still on the line. Yes.
Yeah, well, you're still right above it right here.
Right, 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 right.
So if you enter here, well,
Mm-hmm.
okay, so let's look at this. This is
Okay.
let me break this down real quick. Right here, you really are choppy in this area.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look here, you see it keeps bouncing. It's just not wanting to get over this level right here.
Right, right,
See how
right.
it keeps coming
Mm-hmm.
back, retesting that?
It does. Uh-huh.
And this is at, let's see here. Um, okay. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to. Okay, I want to show you something.
Okay.
All right. So right here, we're getting this choppiness right up in here. We're maintaining our 9 EMA.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about entry right here because right here you have this long bearish candle and then this green candle did take it out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, we just can't seem to get over this area here.
Mm-hmm.
And this is at 9:50 today. So I'm gonna go up to the higher time frame. I'm gonna find the problem. Let's go to 950. Oh, good, I marked it. So 950. Wait a minute. Actually, no, I didn't save the mark. Okay. Let's go to 950 today. Where's our 945? All right, so that's 945. This is 950. So I'm not seeing anything as to what's blocking it right here. So let's take a look on our hourly. Sometimes when you're in the live market, you're looking for what's causing the stock to stall out.
Mm-hmm.
You go to your higher time frames. Where
Mm-hmm.
were we at? 950
Mm-hmm.
today? I think I found it. 950. Okay, so this is 930. This is okay, this is 1030. So this is 930.
It's an hourly chart.
This is the hourly chart. So
Okay.
950 would be in this candle, correct?
I'm not for sure. That's what I got to learn how to read too, is exactly to being able to see that. So
Mhm.
where did you see the 930 and the okay.
So right here, if you yeah, you see right here, if you lay your cursor over the candle, it'll show you what time that candle was.
Got you, got you, got you. Cool, cool.
So if you look at 950 should be in this hour.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not seeing anything that's blocking it. In this hour, which is 1030. No, I'm not seeing anything. So on the 1 hour, well, let me go to the daily. See if there's anything there. I don't know what was causing that. Wait a minute. There is a resistance at 640.80.28. You see that resistance line there?
Okay.
If you go back to your 5 minute,
Mm-hmm.
I rarely go out to my daily to look for roadblocks.
Yeah, I know
I
nothing
wouldn't
about
have
that.
never
Okay.
thought to go there. I don't know what I would have done there, but I probably wouldn't have gone out to my daily. But if you go to 950, no, 6480, you see that resistance line right there?
Mm-hmm.
That's where that
I do.
stall was coming from.
Okay.
And that was at what time? That was today, the 27th at 950, where we were stalling
Mhm.
right here, right up
Gotcha.
in here. Yep.
Uh-huh.
But it was 6480 on the daily. So that's what we were showing. So really that doesn't match either. That doesn't match either. Right here where we were stalling, where you and I were just talking, we were
Mm-hmm.
at 64.68 on SPX.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not seeing where that stall was coming from. Because you're talking about these, wait a minute. Yeah, you were talking about right up in here. Because you were wanting to know, basically, should you get in right here? Or were you trying to fit, what was your question
No, I
again?
probably would have got in right there. Once I seen that candle turn, and if it was halfway up, I probably would have got in right there and rolled it up to there and got out.
You mean right here, this
I could have,
bottom
yeah,
tail?
I could have got in. I could have got it. I would have waited to the next. I would have waited to the green one. If it started forming green, I would have, and if it had closed, and sometimes I might go to the 50. Sometimes I might let it all close all the way, and I know there's a green candle, and it started the next one. I would have got in. To me, I would have been in late because I could have got in right there at the red. That's what I see it.
Right. Right here.
Yes, right there.
Okay, because you know some of this candle in this 5 minute period, some pieces of this candle were green.
Right, right, right.
Because you had some buyers in this candle. It's just that the sellers took over this candle and took it back down. But
Right.
what would have gotten me interested in
Okay.
this trade right here? I would have been interested after this bottom tail candle and because it was coming off of my 8.
Okay, got
I
you. Because
may
it was
not
coming.
have I may not have gotten in right there.
Mm-hmm. Got you.
But and then you also have this resistance line right here.
Got you.
Even though it's green, it's support line, resistance line right here. Though that's a roadblock right there. And that's the reason we're stalling right here.
Mm-hmm.
So once we cross that right here in this green candle, and we're right here
Mm-hmm.
on the 9,
Mm-hmm.
it's clear skies. So what I would do is when this candle is forming,
Mm-hmm.
because you have this wick here, this wick is scary to me. That wick is.
Right.
Because that wick shows me some exhaustion. It also shows there's some sellers here. When I got an SPX, I got an SPX at it was like after 1 o'clock today when I got an SPX. I think I got in. But to answer your question, I like when it crossed over this green and when it was so close to this 9. And that's had I gotten in maybe here, 64, 69, and taking it to here, maybe to here. And then when it started wicking, I probably would have gotten out here. Plus, you're at a resistance level right here. So you're gonna bounce here. You see how you bounce for like 2 or 3 candles? You came and tested
It
a
did.
couple of times. We got real choppy right here at this resistance line. We finally popped over, but we didn't go over much. And we're just chopping around right here. Then we got this bottom tail here. And we went up for 1 candle. But we got a nice bottom tail here that I went back and tested that 20.
Right. Okay. That makes sense. You showing me something? Yes.
Then we came on up here. SPX played a lot today. Chopped around. And then we lost our 8. We lost.
So okay.
20.
So when you say you lost your 8, meaning that it okay, it was on it, but it started going below it. It started going below it. So
yeah,
then
because look
it
how long we were
down,
above our
back.
8. Yeah, we were above our 8 for a long time. And then we chopped around in this heavy resistance area, all these lines here. And then we finally just lost the 8, but we didn't lose it for long. We hit 1 support level. Came back up, hit it again. And these are wicks, so remember, this didn't stay down here very long.
Right.
And these wicks told us it's going back up. But and then right here, we recaptured our 8 and recaptured our 20. And then we rolled above our 8 all the way to the end of the day. This is where I got in around this time. Because I remember I stayed in it for a while because it was up and down, but I never lost my 8 and I never lost my 20. And then I got out when it made that big move up.
And I guess that's what I'm gonna have to start doing is watching my candles even more. You know, I've watched them, but not like that. Being able to understand above, like right there where the blue lines are. I see that yellow line, whatever that yellow line of yours is,
That's
and then
the
I
20.
see that's the 20, and then I see it that big bullish green candle. It that the
Right
Your
here.
8 is right. Yes, your 8 is right on that candle. So does it need to be on it or above it?
Um, it needs to. So you have this bullish candle, but keep in mind, another thing you need to keep in mind is you need to look at your volume. So
Right. Volume to
your
exist.
volume is low toward the end of the day, so be careful with that.
Mm-hmm.
Because a bullish candle at the end of the day is not going to be this size candle is
Mm-hmm.
not the same as this size candle.
Mm-hmm.
They look the same, but they're not the same because they're at different times of the day. You see your volume bars are larger early in the morning.
Right.
You have more movement earlier in the morning, more
Right.
volatility.
Right.
So around this time, you see this large candle. You're speaking of
Mm-hmm.
which one? Was it this one or
Yes, that one. It was that one. Mm-hmm.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I look for candles that are very, very close to this 8 EMA and
Mm-hmm.
leaving the AMA, but I also make sure that my EMA is pointing up. Like I
Okay.
wouldn't
Yeah.
trade, like even though this is let's see, let me find something. Let me see if I can find something. That's not a good idea. This is nope. I'm looking for a candle where even though it's a green candle, but my EMAs are going in the opposite direction. Like here, do you see how that's a green candle? Let me bring it up.
Which one? Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Sort of like here. You see the, what about here? You see how this is a green candle?
Hold on. Let me see. I don't know if I'm.
Let
Hold
me
on.
let me stretch it out some.
Okay.
Like this
I
is
see
a
what.
green candle, but that EMA, the 8 EMA is pointing down.
Okay. The 8 EMA is pointing down. Okay. I can't see it pointing down.
It's
Well,
not
guess
really
it.
pointing down, but it's not pointing up. It's not like these.
Okay. It's yeah. Like it went up, but then it kind of moved a little sideways a little bit,
Yeah, sort of
and
sideways. Even right here,
it's going. It's like down. I
yeah,
see it. It's like
if
it's
you
going in a down. Yeah.
yeah, if you start looking at it, it's
Mm-hmm.
not really pointing up anymore.
Oh no 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 no.
So be mindful that if you're going in a bullish direction in your trade, you
Mm-hmm.
see how this is a green candle and that EMA is clearly pointing down,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and you're below your 20,
Okay.
and you're below your 200. So
Okay. Right.
no, we're
Right. So
not
that's a
entering any,
downtrend. Oh no no no.
yeah, we're not
That's
entering any
going into a
calls.
down. Right. No no. That would definitely be a down going down.
Yeah. So your EMA, your candles need to be like you say above your EMAs and go, but they
Okay.
need to be going in the direction of
Of the
where
trend.
you're going.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
where
Right.
you're
Right.
going. Like if you're looking to get in a call,
Mm-hmm.
make sure your EMAs are headed up.
Right, right, right. And see,
And
and
when
I
you
guess I look at the signal, you know how the end of it is pointing up, I guess too. And that may be sometime why my entries may be a little, I see it pointing up. I do look at it pointing up. But I said today, I said, I got to start understanding better, above the line, on the line, exactly what it means. Because I heard you say early, if it was 50% of the candle, and, I really didn't understand the 50%
mhm.
of the candle. But now, like right here where the blue line, like where your cursor is, up above that, I see like right there, it's on that line. So tell me what that means when it's on that line. Do it need to be above it or on it?
Okay, so do this. Look at your candle
Okay.
before. Tell me what you see based on your candle before that green candle.
Which green candle?
You're talking about this candle
This
here?
one, right. It is on
Okay.
there. I see a red, I see that red candle, and the wick is, it has a wick, but it was like it was trying to push it up. I mean, it was going up because you got a long wick.
The long wick candle gives me an indication that
Hmm.
that we're getting ready to move upward some.
Right,
It's
right,
not very long of a wick. Like it's not a wick like this long wick over
like
here,
which okay, I can't
right
see it.
here. It's not as long as this wick.
No, it's not. No.
But it's not as long as this wick,
Right.
but
Mm-hmm.
it is a long enough wick to get my attention.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And so as soon as this green candle, and as you see, look at your EMA on this wick, on this red candle.
Mm-hmm.
That's letting you know that this little downward movement that we just got, it's exhausted. Buyers are like, nah, we coming back.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm seeing. And then I'm also seeing that, excuse me, my EMA is pointing, it's slightly moving up. It's in an
Mm-hmm.
upward movement.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little far away from the 20. I like when my 20 and I like when I'm flat
Mm-hmm.
in between my 20 and my 9, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm not feeling like this is an exhausted upward movement.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as this green candle gets above the top of this little hammer here,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go ahead and get in this play. So if I get in this play at 64.75 and I take it to that wick or to that resistance level,
Mm-hmm.
64.77. I think, isn't that a $2 move? That's a $2 move.
Now, see, I ain't learned that either. Yeah, I haven't learned how to read that like
Well,
that.
look where we are. Look at the price. Look at the top of this candle.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Imagine yourself getting in about here because this candle's opening up green.
Mm-hmm.
Look over to
Mm-hmm.
your right hand side. You see that little white right
I
there?
do.
You
I
see where
do.
it says 64.75?
Uh-huh.
And you just look to where it went,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
You see that resistance line, that red resistance line?
I do. Mm-hmm.
And you look over to the right, you see your price is 64.77.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That's $2 right there.
Oh, okay.
Now,
Gotcha.
if you were a person that a little more, this is choppy right up in here. This really is choppy. There's really not a whole lot of
Right.
you,
No.
you really could let me get rid of this. You really could do this, and this is what I do sometimes throughout the day.
Mm-hmm.
All this choppiness. I just
Mm-hmm.
take me a little box, kind of draw me a little box during this little choppiness. I know I'm going all over the place, y'all. We supposed to be talking about candles. I'm sorry.
Nobody on there but me and you. Somebody
I
else. This
know the
was
other people they to the left or they just they were like, oh, we don't want to hear this.
but you did go over
Oh,
candles.
someone did ask me a question. I am so sorry. This is a
I'm sorry.
person, the iPhone person. Did I
They,
explain? I'm sorry, I didn't see your are they still there?
I
You
don't
said
know.
they
I think
couldn't
somebody
unmute.
leave. Okay, yeah, okay, that's you to everyone else on there once. They said they could not mute.
Yeah, they were asking me, I don't know if they're still here. I think they are still here. So they were asking me, what do I mean by losing the 8? And so what do I mean by losing the 8? That means that, hold on, let me take this box off because I went in a whole nother direction. Um, let me see. Are you on the East Coast, Deanna?
I am on no, I'm south. I'm south. I'm in Charlotte.
Oh, you
Below
said that,
Charlotte.
Charlotte. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we both on the
Hmm.
Eastern. So
Yeah.
yes, yeah, it's getting about time. I'm gonna do this about 10 more minutes
Okay.
because I got to be up at 5:30. But
Okay. And I'm still at work.
uh-oh.
Hmm.
You doing hair?
Hmm.
What
Yeah.
Lordy, I need to move to Charlotte because I can't find anybody to do my hair late.
This is
Okay,
I
let
do
me see.
have late the schedule. We schedule yeah. I'm finishing up 2 people. Yeah.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
I'm gonna put my last
Excuse
one under the dryer. Yeah.
excuse me, I'm sorry. Oh my goodness. Okay,
Hmm.
so that person asked me about when we're losing the 8. So I want to explain, like, basically, as you see the price action moving, it's moving and it's staying above the 8, which means it's not moving like in a straight line up. in a bullish momentum. Excuse me, but it's remaining bullish because it's staying above the 8 EMA. If you look here, we kind of pull back some, and it's okay. When I'm in a trade, I pull back. But if you look here, we actually lost our 8 EMA. That means we traveled below the 8 EMA, and we started moving towards what looked like a downward type trend.
Uh-huh.
Um, I don't know if that makes sense to the iPhone person, but that's what I mean by losing the 8. We actually lost our 8 EMA and we lost our 20 EMA. But because I
So
knew,
meaning that it goes down, meaning that it's up under it, or what does that
yes,
mean? That it's up under.
yes,
Okay.
it has gone up under it.
Okay.
It was all this time, it's been above the 8 and it's been above the 9. Even though it was choppy right up in here, it was above the 8.
So it needs to be on it or above it.
It technically should be lifting off of it like a rocket. It
Got you.
should like travel on the 8, and
Mm-hmm.
then somewhere when you want to make a big move to the upside, it
Mm-hmm.
needs to lift off of the 8. You see how right here it lifted off?
Right
But
where?
you don't want to get in it once it's already lifted off. Maybe if it had lifted off right here, you could get in.
Oh no.
But
Okay.
I would prefer you get in like with you having this bottom tail here. I would prefer you get in here and then ride it up these 3 candles. Once it
Mm-hmm.
starts chopping, come on out of it because like you see right here where we kind of lost it here.
Mm-hmm.
Then we kind of came back and it looked like it wanted to lift off, but it didn't. It just chopped right on top of the 8. Basically, it chopped on top of the 8 for a good portion of the morning and afternoon. And then once we hit this resistance level here, we
Mm-hmm.
lost the 8 for a little while. Came all the way back down to this support level here, this green line
That's the
here.
Lord. Uh-huh.
We
Mm-hmm.
had a nice reversal candle here,
Mm-hmm.
but that's no need to get in the trade just because we got the reversal candle, even though that does give me an indication that it's going up. I'm not getting in this trade until these EMAs change and start going back up. You see that cross right there?
I
That
do.
that 9 cross back over that 20 to the upside.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can take, now this is low volume trading right here.
Mm-hmm.
These are not parabolic moves, but it
Mm-hmm.
does give you some indication on how price action works.
Gotcha.
Because like right here where you crossed the
Mm-hmm.
8, crossed back over that 20, and then you had this bottom tail, you could have taken those 3 candles up. If you were real brave, you could have stayed in and rode what I say, ride the storm and taken it up some more. If you were real strong, now I'm not saying I'm that strong. You could
Mm-hmm.
go through this choppiness again and look at that move.
Right, 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 right. I understand that either. I probably got out.
I'm not there yet. I've lost too much. I ain't gonna lie. I've lost too much along the way. I'm not there
Yeah, I'd
yet.
have got out and got back in.
But Deanna, think about it.
Mm-hmm.
If you trust in your EMAs, there was
Mm-hmm.
nothing in your EMAs that told you to get out of this trade. It was just a bumpy ride. Because look at this reward right here.
Yeah, I see that. That's what I'm trying to get to. I'm like, because I
It was
hear them
a
talk about it and I
it was a
see it, and I'm
yep.
just I mean, on watching it. I'm watching it go up, whether it's up or down. You know how I guess it's the tail of it that I'm looking at, the EMAs, when it's
Uh-huh.
whether it's going up or down. I'm looking and I'll do a lot on that. But I'll see it up above it, but I'm still want it be sometimes it's way up above it. You know what I'm
But
saying?
when
And
it's
it's going
way up
up.
above, I wouldn't take a call there.
Okay, now that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about right there. So it needs to be
Like
on
right
it
here,
or close to it. Okay. Uh-huh.
right here, no
Right.
ma'am. And your wicks are telling you it's exhausted, but then
Mm-hmm.
your distance from the EMA is also telling you it's exhausted. Stocks don't like being away from the EMA for very long. They like to
Okay.
leave home and then they like to come back home.
Okay, let me ask you this. Okay, well, where you are right there with the 9, with the 8, 9, or whatever that is. Okay, so that's a little bit below it.
Where,
So
right
that
here?
right there, is that's not where you would enter at, or
Right here?
uh-huh. Yes.
No, I wouldn't enter. I would enter this play even if I saw, like, say right here. You see how we came back and tested the. We were okay. We came up here. We came out. We came. We got a little bit above the 9. We came back and retested it. We had a little small wick there. Right here, let's take out this little small bottom tail wick to the upside. We're right here on the 9. I would have entered here.
Yeah, I would have entered there. I would have entered
And I
there.
would have caught it. But as soon as this wicked up, this we got this wick here, I would have probably started looking at my higher time frame to
Okay,
see why are we wicking down, why are we stalling right here.
got you.
And
Because
then
I
the
probably
next
would have got
candle,
out.
why are we stalling here? So right here is 420 on Tuesday. I'm not gonna go to it right now, but I'll bet you there's something on that higher time frame that was stalling it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. And because you see it exhausted, and that's why it went back. It went back.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So tomorrow, are you? I don't know. I think I know who you are on Discord. I think I saw you. I think you spoke to me today.
I did.
Reach out to me tomorrow on Discord and we can connect.
Okay.
Are you gonna trade tomorrow?
I am.
Okay, and the other person that's the iPhone person, if you have any questions or if there's anything that I didn't quite make clear because I didn't hear your question, just reach out to me on Discord. I got a couple of things I'm doing this weekend, but I do have free time to help out if you want to get on Zoom and we could just talk about some stuff,
Oh,
or if
cool
you have
beans.
anything you would like to share and show me because I want to learn more too. That'll be fine as well. But if y'all want to reach out to me on Discord tomorrow, we could probably correspond like that. And if y'all are trading tomorrow, just let me know, and we could talk about it. We could talk about what we got going.
Okay. Cool beans.
Okay, all right, but yeah, I'm starting to come down with something. I feel kind of sneezy, but I'm gonna go ahead and shut down for tonight.
Okay.
And I appreciate y'all getting on.
Listen, I appreciate the opportunity to get on with you.
Oh,
Thank you for the
no worries
insight
at
you had.
all.
Good information.
Yeah, if I
Good
think of
information.
anything that I feel like could help people, and I'll do something again next week. It may not be Wednesday, it may be more like I don't know, we'll see. Because I do Bible study on Thursdays, or trying to do Bible study on Thursdays. So I don't know. But I will get back on. I'll put something out there in the Discord. But just definitely reach out to me. And then tomorrow, if you're trading Deanna tomorrow, then just let me
Yes.
know, and I'll throw some stuff. I'll let you know what I'm doing. You can let me know what
Okay.
you're doing. Okay.
Cool beans. That'll
All
work.
right.
Okay.
Have a
All
good
right.
one. Okay.
You
Bye
too.
bye.
Thanks again.
You're welcome. Y'all have a good night.
All right. Bye-bye. That was good. That was good information. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yes.
Come on, y'all. Okay. Are you going to
Okay.
stop recording? Yes.